Hello everyone, continuing with our unit 3, that is group technology in CAD/CAM series. Today I'll be taking a new topic, that is part families and ways to identify part families. So let's start. In unit 3, that is group technology, we have various topics like introduction to group technology already taken, then objectives of group technology, advantages and disadvantages of group technology, what are part families and ways to identify part families. This we will start today. Then part classification, part coding and types of coding structures, group technology, machine cells. These are the contents of group technology, and today we will start with what are part families and ways to identify part families. So let's start. First of all, in short, what is part family? A group of similar part is known as part family. So in layman language we can say that a group of similar part is known as part families. So the basic definition goes like, a part family, it is a collection of parts that are similar either because of the geometric shape and size or because of the similar processing steps required in their manufacturing. So what are part families? Part families are the collection of parts that have either the similar geometries or the similar manufacturing processes. So one thing very important, the group of machineries used to process an individual part family is known as machine cell. This also is a very important topic that we are covering in this particular unit, but in the different lecture. So it is not necessary for each part of a part family to be processed by every machine of the corresponding machine cell. So this type of manufacturing in which a part family is produced by a machine cell is known as cellular manufacturing. One thing very important, that the manufacturing efficiencies are generally increased by employing group technology because the required operations may be confined to only a small cell and thus avoiding the need for transportation of in-process parts. So let's start with different ways to identify part families. There are many ways to identify part families. There are several ways to identify part families, such as visual inspection, part classification and coding. I'll be taking a very brief description about part classification and coding in this particular lecture, and we have the separate lectures for part classification attributes and what are the different types of codings in this particular unit only. Third is production flow analysis, very important, very effective also. This we will just see. Next is cluster analysis and so on. So let's start and analyze all these one by one. So let's start with visual inspection. Visual inspection, as the name, it is very clear. Using best judgment to group parts into appropriate families based on the parts or photos of the parts. What I mean to say is, suppose we are given with the different parts in random order. Say this is the parts before grouping, and with the visual inspection we can separate the parts based on their different shapes and our expertise. Like in this particular we have separated based on the shape. So we have part family 1 which have all the triangles, we have part family 2 which has all the rectangle squares having the same 4 sides, part family 3 which is a circular part family, and part family 4 which has a pentagon type of structure. So this is the way of grouping, or we can say identifying the part family, that is through visual inspection. Hope it is very clear. It is very simple also. Second is part classification and coding. As I already mentioned, I have I have made a separate lecture for part classification and coding. So in short, what is part classification and coding? Let's discuss. In part classification and coding, similarities among parts are identified and these similarities are related in a coding system. So part families are classified based on attributes. These attributes we will be discussing in the very next lecture. Coding depends on different types of structures. So there are different types of codings also, and there are different types of classification of part families that we will be discussing. I have mentioned also, yes, different part classification attributes and different types of coding are discussed later separately. So that will be seeing, but the next way to identify part family is production flow analysis. This is very effective in industries, those who are following the group technology, that is production flow analysis. Here part families are identified using information contained on root sheets to classify parts. Root sheet is a, we can say, a flow analysis sheet, or we can say the process sheet for any making any kind of parts. So what is root sheet? A root sheet is a document which lists the exact sequence of operations needed to complete the job. The root sheet is intended to accompany parts moving individually or in batches. So based on the root sheet, the production flow analysis helps in identifying different part families. This is also very important. Let's see some example for the production flow analysis. Production flow analysis is a method for identifying part families. As we know that we are studying the different ways to identify part families. So one of the method is PFA method, and it is associated with machine grouping that uses the information contained or process plans rather than on part drawing. So production flow analysis, that is also known as PFA method, is a method for identifying part families and associated machine grouping that uses the information contained on process plans rather than on part drawing, and these process plans are very systematically identified on the root sheets. Work parts with identical or similar process plans are classified into part families, as we have already discussed. So these families can then be used to form logical machine cells in a group technology layout. So based on these part families, different machine cells are identified to make a process easy and as well as economical. The procedure in production flow analysis must begin by defining the scope of the study, which means deciding on the population of parts to be analyzed. So in production flow analysis, the procedure of production flow analysis consists of the following steps. First is the data collection, that is, we need to collect the data, which can be in the form of say digital or analog or any countable collection. So the minimum data needed to in the analysis are the part number and operation sequence, which is obtained for process plan. So different for production flow analysis we use different steps like data collection, then sorting of the process plan. Sorting, as the name it is clear, a sortation procedure is used to group parts with identical process plans. Then last is we draw the PFA chart. PFA chart is the production flow analysis chart. The processes used for each groups are then displayed in the PFA chart as shown. I'll show you the PFA chart. Suppose this is our PFA chart, which is a two-dimensional production flow analysis chart, in which in the horizontal lines, or we can say we have a matrix, two-dimensional matrix, in which we have in horizontal lines we show the parts we identified as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, as you can see, and in vertical column we have machines. So we have say 7 machines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What this PFA chart indicates is, let's see here, like suppose we see that here it is marked as 1. 1 is in A1 cell, that is part A is produced by machine 1. Similarly, part A is produced by machine 5 also. So this is the PFA chart. Similarly, like part B is, here it is 1, that means it uses the machine 4 as well as in making of part B we use the machine 7. This 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 can be any process, drilling, machining, boring, anything. So based on that we have different machines, and based on the operation we have part. Similarly, like this C part is made using machine 3 and machine 6. So based on this particular operations of different machines, or based on the requirement of different machines for different parts, we draw the chart that is represented, is known as PFA chart. Hope it is clear. It is very effective chart to make the root sheets also. Last is the clustering analysis. Clustering analysis, it is the advanced form of PFA chart, or we can say the modified form of PFA chart. But it I have written also, it is the modified PFA chart. In this, related groupings are identified and rearranged into a new pattern that brings together groups with similar machine sequence. What I mean to say is, this is a cluster analysis, that is a modified PFA chart. Like I'll show you with comparison. What first let us understand what is this clustering analysis. Like this C part is manufactured by machine 3 as well as machine 6. So there are certain parts which have this kind of common machines that they are operating. Like say for example, we have this part I manufactured by 3 as well as 6, and similarly it takes another operation through machine 2, which is also by the part E. That means in clustering form we identify which part is used by which machine, and we combine them together to make a modified PFA chart which looks much similar but in a very effective manner as compared to the normal PFA charts. So in normal PFA chart, what we did is we follow the simple alphabets 1 to A B C D E F G H I, and the sequential machine number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. But when it comes to clustering analysis, it segregates, identifies, and then finally group them together to make a process easy. That means this machine 3 is working only for CEI, rest it is empty. So this can be seen. So in comparison, comparing PFA and cluster charting, so this was the chart which looks a bit complicated because it has been made in a general way, but this is a clustered form of this PFA chart. Like this machine 1, it is using, this is machine 1, it is used by part A, part D as well as part H. So what we did is we took 1 and we this A, that is A, D, here it is by machine 1, and H, that is using machine 1. This 1 is representing yes case, well, the condition is satisfied, that is part A is used by machine number. This 1 is for yes, and the empty cell represents that the machine is not using that, or the part is not manufactured by that particular machine. So this is the clustering chart which is helping to identify part families. So hope you are clear with all the 4 different types of ways to identify part families. Thank you so much. So in the next lecture I'll be detailing to the part classification, that is the second method of ways to classify different part families. So how these part families are being classified, that we will be seeing in the next lecture. Thank you so much.